Hey everybody, it's your buddy Cookie McGee, aka Keegan here. I'm back with another video once again, and time for another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about 4 movies that I saw in theaters almost 3 weeks ago. I've been meaning to review these movies ever since I finished my Scream reviews. Well, my 2-part Scream review videos. I just haven't had the time to do it. I was originally going to do it on Friday, but I didn't for some reason. Saturday I did the vlog video, but then I had some other stuff I had to do. And yesterday I was going to do it, but then I fell ill. I had a 24-hour stomach bug, and I was really not feeling well. I was puking and I was feeling weak, so I just had to postpone the video. But today I'm feeling a lot better and I feel ready to do this video. Funny you should say, I was actually at the movies earlier before I recorded this video. I went to go see the 40th anniversary screening of Stand By Me. Great movie, although I will review that in the next episode, which will probably be out on Friday. Anyways, let's talk about the movies. So the first film we're going to talk about today is Sweetness. This one was written and directed by Emma Higgins, and this is a Canadian film. I saw this one almost 3 weeks ago, and I thought it was pretty good. Essentially, it's basically a modern version of Misery, but if Annie Wilkes was a 16-year-old girl obsessed with a rock star and, well, basically has her idol held hostage. Yeah, you can probably guess of how the story goes. So basically, the girl and the rock star meet up by accident after she accidentally gets hit by a car that he was driving. And then she finds out that the rock star is a drug addict, and one day he crashes out at her family's place, and she basically takes the rock star hostage. And well, I'm sure you know how the story goes from here. It's very similar to Misery. But I enjoyed this movie for what it is. It's pretty good. The actress who plays the main character, I forgot her name. She did a really good job in it. Especially the actor who played the rock star. They were good in the film. And it also has Stephen Ogg, aka Trevor from GTA 5. He's in this movie as well. Not a lot for me to say about it. I enjoyed it, and if you like the movie Misery, I would recommend it. It's pretty solid. I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. Not much to say about it, but a solid 7 out of 10. Next up is Leprechaun, the first one. This one was written and directed by Mark Jones, who unfortunately passed away back in January of this year at the age of 73, I think. 73 or 72. I can't remember, but he, again, passed away back in January, so may he rest in peace. I saw this one almost 3 weeks ago at the Metro. It was part of this series they do monthly called D Series, where they screen the shittiest movies imaginable, like The Room, Troll 2. Last month they did a movie called Love on a Leash, which I was tempted to go to see how ridiculous it is, but I didn't. But yeah, it's a monthly series they do like every month, and this was the one they were doing for this month. I haven't seen any of the other Leprechaun movies. There's like 8 of them, but yeah, I've been curious about checking them out, especially the first one, where you got Warwick Davis playing a killer leprechaun, terrorizing people. He's out to get his pot of gold back, and you got Jennifer Aniston and her. Well, this was actually Jennifer Aniston's first movie before she moved on to Friends, which would come out 2 years later in 94. So, she and her friends are getting terrorized by the leprechaun, who's out for blood after someone takes away his pot of gold and he wants it back. Now, this is a very, very silly movie. I mean, a horror movie about a killer leprechaun sounds ridiculous on its own, but man, if you watch this movie with the right crowd of people, you'll have a lot of fun, like I did when I saw it at the Metro. There were a lot of people like talking over the movie and like commenting. And there's a part like near the beginning where the four-leaf clover falls on the floor. Everyone was literally chanting, "You fucked up! You fucked up!" Now, normally I wouldn't tolerate it when people talk during movies, but in the case of a movie like this, The Room or Big Shark, I would accept that because those movies were just bad on purpose. Well, at least The Room and Big Shark were. But anyways, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Warwick Davis was great as the Leprechaun, and he would go on to play the Leprechaun in 6 of the 8 sequels. He didn't return for the 7th or 8th film, from what I've heard. I'll probably check out the other sequels, even if the other sequels are just really, really bad. But I'll probably check them out one day. But this movie was a lot of fun. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous, and obviously don't take it seriously. But I, again, had a lot of fun watching it. It's silly, it's cheesy as hell, but man, is it so much fun to watch, especially with a big crowd of people, even if some of those people were drunk, because I'm pretty sure most of the people who were there when I watched it were drunk, or maybe just some of them were. But fun movie, give it, despite how cheesy and ridiculous it is. I'm giving Leprechaun a 7 out of 10. The next one I watched is THX 1138, which this was the directorial debut for George Lucas before he directed the first Star Wars movie. This film was released in 1971. And one thing that should be noted before we talk about this movie is that I watched the director's cut and not the theatrical cut, because the director's cut was the version that was being screened at the Metro and not the theatrical cut. But yeah, and I think some people say the director's cut version's better, but I don't know. I haven't watched the theatrical cut, but just wanted to point that out before we go any further. But anyways, this is a dystopian science fiction film that takes place in the future where the world is ruled by this corporation or whatever that having your emotions is like illegal. You got to take all these drugs to keep your emotions suppressed and stuff. And you got a man known only as THX 1138 who falls in love with another woman, and they're basically trying to rebel against the authoritarian government in the world, and they're just basically trying to escape the authoritarians and shit like that. It's very simple, yes. I really enjoyed this one. This one was pretty good, and it was really well made for its time too, for a science fiction film that was made in the early 70s, and for a debut film, it's pretty good. And this movie was also executive produced by Francis Ford Coppola, who I believe also produced American Graffiti, another movie that George Lucas made. I'm not sure. I never actually did watch American Graffiti, but I'll probably check it out one day because I hear that's a great movie. I like the makeup effects. I like a lot of the costume designs, especially for the robot police officers. They looked pretty cool, and it's good. Although it's not a great or an amazing movie or anything, but I still thought it was a pretty good science fiction flick from the early 70s. I think after this movie, he would go on to make Star Wars, or I think it was American Graffiti. I can't remember which one came after. I think it might have been American Graffiti, but I'll look it up after. But this was a solid debut for George Lucas. I thought it was pretty good, and I'll probably check it out again one day. But I don't have anything else to add, so I'm giving THX 1138 a 7 out of 10. That is 3 7 out of 10s in a row. And the last film for this video is Undertone. This is a Canadian horror film written and directed by Ian Tasson. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I actually didn't know this movie was Canadian until a few days after I watched it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Canadian. I didn't know that. I saw this one the Sunday when the Oscars aired. I didn't really have too many high expectations for this movie, but I just went ahead and saw it anyways because why not? It was all right. Basically, in this movie, you got a podcaster and her co-host who receive an email from an anonymous user with 10 audio recordings that slowly start to get disturbing the more they listen to them, and a lot of weird shit starts to happen during the film, and that's basically what the story of the film is about in a nutshell. Now, the sound design in this movie is really, really good, especially with the audio recordings in the film. I mean, the person who was in charge of the sound design in this movie did a great job with the sounds in this film. It's creepy and it's atmospheric, but I didn't really think the movie was all that great, to be honest. I mean, it was all right. It had its moments, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I mean, I do appreciate the sound design, like I said before, and it is creepy, but I feel the story could have been written a little bit better, especially near the end, where some of the logic just goes like, okay, it's just. But it was an alright movie. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't great either, just okay. I probably won't watch it again. But to be honest, I honestly found this movie more entertaining than fucking Scream 7. That's for sure. Scream 7 was a piece of shit. But it was an alright movie. It wasn't great, but if you like these low budget independent horror films that are produced by A24, well, if you like these types of movies, I guess it's pretty good, but it was okay. I probably won't ever watch it again, though, but again, it was an alright movie. So I'm giving Undertone a 6 out of 10. Well, there you guys have it. That's going to be the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And I will be doing another episode, another movie review video, probably this week, hopefully by Friday, but we'll see. But I got a couple of more movies I've seen in theaters recently that I gotta cover, so I'll probably cover the rest of those in the next video. But in the meantime, this is Kooky McGee signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all later. And have a good one, guys. Peace.